I am tearing up.
I just about screamed right now, and I'm not even there.
Now that's inspirational, Natalie. I feel inspired today.
Part two of this.
I could be here for another hour.
And then I was top of my class. There were only 2 of us, and the other guy was in the hospital. So here I am.
And I always go, he winds up homeless on the street. It's my fault.
Yeah, now you sound like my wife.
And you can get off.
I don't know. Call it Google. Or call it Google.
Yeah. Control. Alexa, how does he get across?
Paul, I cut you off earlier. What were you going to say?
What?
Dang it! Don't do that to me, Paul. Don't do that to me, man.
I don't know what got into my head, but I thought this thought, if I'm working year round, I might as well get paid year round.
Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education and Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud, and subscribe today. Now, it's time to get started with Sweet Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sweet Talk, our weekly podcast here at Continuing Education Workforce Training at Idaho State University. I am, as always, Paul Dickey, your host, joined again with Gary Salazar. Gary, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, Paul. Thank you very much for the soccer intro. I love that stuff. Hey, it's a wonderful day. It's Friday. I can actually see some sunshine out our window. We've had a little blustery weather, and it's a very nice way to kick off the weekend.
Yeah.
You're doing okay too?
Yeah, I'm doing I'm good. I'm working on a special project right now. And I'm having fun with it. And as always, we have Angie with us. Angie, how are you today?
I'm doing very, very well. I'm looking forward to your special project.
It's like the skunk works over there. The door's closed. Strange sounds are coming out of it. It's going to be great. Yeah. Hey, we have a special guest with us today. We're closing in on the end of October, and we're going to have a very, very nice conversation with one of our online partners from CareerStep. Angela, thank you for joining us. I know you took some time when I wasn't here to help frame this, and I appreciate that work. Everybody, Matthew Gibson, he works with CareerStep, and he's joining us today. We're going to learn a little bit about what he does, what CareerStep does. They are one of our featured online partners. Angela's putting out a catalog, the new spring catalog, and they're in the catalog already. And a lot of students look at that catalog, and those of you who are interested in doing some really good online training, that's a wonderful partner to choose. So, Matthew, welcome to Sweet Talk. We're glad to have you here.
Awesome, Gary. Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Hey, let's get started. We want to make sure the audience has a little bit of background on you. Would you mind telling us a little bit about your history, and then how did you come to CareerStep, and then we'll get into that part.
Yeah, absolutely. So, based out of Asheville, North Carolina, I've been working in business technology for the last 15 years. Originally when I was introduced to CareerStep, I had applied for a more business-to-business role, but there are some interesting similarities between what I was previously doing and the strategic partner advisor role that I landed in. So that's a little gist about me. But besides that, in a past life, I used to be a sponsored skateboarder.
A sponsored skateboard? Like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, like those guys that go in the Olympics and they do the falling all over the place. You ride the rails, that kind of stuff.
All right, let's just forget the whole CareerStep thing, and let's talk about the skateboarding for the rest of the time.
I have a question about the skateboarding before we get into this. Was there what was a top event that you went to that you remember?
So there was a program they did nationwide called the S Game of Skate, and it's kind of like playing horse with a basketball, except you're doing specific tricks on a skateboard, and you try to do harder tricks to give the other opponent all the letters, kind of like you're playing horse. And in that particular contest, I scored 14th place out of my region, which for thousands of people, I was pretty excited to get that.
Ooh, how cool is that? Yeah, we maybe this is a separate podcast to talk about skateboarding. This is awesome. Well, great. So I just want to go in this a little bit. You said business technology was kind of your role. Does that mean online technology or what?
So quite a few different solutions. One of them was a software solution, software as a service. One in particular for Amazon and Whole Foods for inventory and food cost management. So had some pretty big partners, and then from there moved into more of a technology like hardline internet and networking solutions.
Hey, very, very good. So you're coming to CareerStep with a huge bag of experience, and it's probably very, very helpful in all the online programs that CareerStep offers. Awesome, good for you. Congratulations. We'll get back to skateboarding another time. Let's move on. Let's move on to some CareerStep information here. What is CareerStep? People see CareerStep on boards, or they'll see it in our catalog, or they hear about it. What would be a good explanation of what does CareerStep do? What is it?
So CareerStep is a branch of Caris Learn, and we focus on online training programs. We are an industry leader in allied healthcare and currently offer over 70 programs, with new programs being added every couple of months. So it's worth checking out our catalog periodically to see if something new's come up. We work directly with academic institutions such as Idaho State University, currently have over 200 academic partners. Another branch of Caris would be our hiring partner in our externship networking division, so we can help our learners not only get into the program, but get the knowledge they need, the hands-on experience, and then job placement.
Oh, that's cool. So in other words, if you had a program, a health program that had maybe like a clinical component to it, or had some folks who could provide the externship opportunity where a student does all the online theory kind of instruction, then they could go work with somebody out in the industry. And that's what you're talking about there?
Yeah, absolutely. In most cases, once you complete that coursework, you're ready to get your hands dirty. So we can put you in the field with an externship partner. And most of those partners end up offering a job opportunity once those externship hours have been completed.
Yeah, and that's good. And that makes sense too, because they get a chance to watch the person who's on the externship and see how they do, check out the fit beforehand. And then if that's all working out, they like what they see, and that person likes that company too, because that's a two-way street. A job opportunity might appear. So that's a really good solution there. It brings a lot of things together for people who are looking for work out there. Good job with that. Do you get yourself involved with the externships, or is that just a completely different group?
So I work primarily with our academic partners to help them reach the community. I do work directly with learners from time to time, but we have people that are trained specifically on career advisement, and then helping people prepare with resumes or mock interviews to get them in the right place.
Right. That's really nice. That's a more full rounded service organization, helping people once they go through the program and the schooling, and also helping them get ready to go do that interview or go get that job. Very, very nice. In a university or college situation, that might be our student services group that's participating in that and helping coach those students who are getting ready to go out and get a job in the world. Very nice to hear that. Where are we talking to you from, Matthew? Are you near us in Utah?
No, actually, I'm based out of Asheville, North Carolina. I work remotely primarily, but I will be in Utah this next week.
Okay, good. I think you said that earlier. But you're coming down here this in a week? I mean, Paul and I were talking about this. CareerStep used to do some visits and bring some chocolate on every one of those visits.
I know. I have the notes. I know the exact chocolate. I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded.
There you go, Paul.
Yeah, well, the representative would come every so often to do an open house and explain their services to the community, and they would bring chocolate. But during COVID times, that kind of waned a little and disappeared for a while, and understandably, but chocolate.
You're ready for chocolate? No, I'm ready too. I'm ready, like I said. So I'll be in Utah. It'll be my first time being at the corporate headquarters. So looking forward to meeting everybody in person. Excellent. And hopefully we'll get to make some visits to local partners there as well.
Okay, well, include us on the list if you get that opportunity. Love to see you and host you up here as well. Um, you're talking about an online education, which is very big, but it's also a little bit of up and down. I know the university has some online education. Paul, who also manages our apprenticeship programs, has an online component to that. It's quite popular for a lot of students. Are you seeing a steady enrollment for the online programs that CareerStep offers, or is that cyclical for you?
Well, I think there's definitely been a shift, maybe since the pandemic or because of the pandemic. And it looks like learners are choosing not to go in the route of a university or a 4-year degree for some reason. So we are seeing a large number of people kind of going towards technical training and certificate training. What we're really hoping to do at CareerStep is kind of get ahead of this worker shortage that we have in the healthcare industry right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. The notion that everybody has to go to a 4-year institution to get a degree, to get a job, is not as strong as it used to be. I mean, years ago, that was the path. That was the favorite path. And it still has tremendous value, but not everybody is going that way. And so when you have a program in CareerStep that says, hey, we can do this online, you begin to offer the audience out there different options, different opportunities, particularly those who are like the non-traditional students who are working already, or they have a job, or they're single, or they have a family that they've got to take care of. Going online does allow another option for those folks who are doing it. So you're meeting a need.
Yeah, we definitely know there's a need out there, and I think we have a very interesting position and a very interesting solution. It's interesting that you bring up those instances of, a single mom or somebody who's already working a job and trying to, improve their life or increase their income. The statistics are really surprising there too, because I think about 75% of our learners have a kid, and 75% of them have an existing part-time or full-time job.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Paul, did you have a question?
Well, I've noticed that I've been delivering some online content with my apprenticeship programs over the last few years, and it was a hard row initially, but I'm finding in the last couple of years, it's easier on the delivery of that, because I'm seeing younger people looking for that alternate career path. Have you seen something similar to that, Matthew?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think it has something to do with maybe another generation and their expectations of online training or training in general. And then, a lot of our programs that we offer could potentially lead to remote work as well. So if you have somebody who's particularly good at self-management and wants to work in their own environment, that's definitely a possibility with some of the paths through CareerStep.
Yeah.
Now with that being said, what types of certificates can people earn through CareerStep if they're interested in taking a program through you?
So we have over 70 programs, as I may have mentioned, and each program may require a specific certification. So, for example, medical scribe is going to be certified through the National Health Career Association, and they're going to get their own type of certificate. For a nutrition and personal trainer, they're going to get a different type of certificate. So each program is going to offer one or more certificates that can be used in multiple fields.
That's really good. And certificates are big for a lot of people as evidence that the training was done and accomplished, and they met the learning objectives or the outlined outcomes that were desired. So that is nice to have. Are you finding employers out there are becoming more receptive to online training, the folks who come through an online training program, as opposed to maybe years ago? As online has developed, I think it's become better, but the proof of the pudding is how many people are really getting hired by those employers. What feeling are you getting from the employers that you may be interacting with?
Yeah, it's a really good question, Gary. I think since it's all cyclical, and we are seeing this shortage in healthcare workers, there's definitely an interest in working with CareerStep to fill some of these positions. So I would say that it's benefiting both parties, the learner and the communities as a whole, because we kind of want to get ahead of this shortage as quickly as possible, or at least try and start bailing the ship.
Right.
Also, Matthew, with the increase of people who are seeking online training, but may need some sort of maybe pseudo hands-on experience, has CareerStep delved into VR or AR at all?
So we have some integrations within our programs that are interactive and hands-on. I wouldn't go as far as VR or AR yet, but we do have some interesting technologies that are coming out soon. We have one we internally called Lender. So it's kind of like a platform for learners to connect directly with employers in our network. So they each have a profile they can like or swipe if they have the correct credentials.
Like a social media for job seeking.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. But it's going to be specific to CareerStep learners in our hiring network.
Right, right. You know what, Paul and I have talked about the AR VR bit here, and we foresee. I mean, we've talked to a couple companies who use it in their training programs already. So for apprentices that we have come through his programs, we think it would be useful to begin introducing them to that technology as part of the training that he does to set them up. So when they get out there, if they encounter an AR VR environment, that's not a surprise. It's not something they haven't seen before, haven't dabbled with. I think it's an opening field. I think there's a lot of potential in there. It's got a long ways to go before it becomes very, very practical, but it's going in that direction. So we're going to continue trying to see how we can bring that in, not just to the online piece, but also to the live classes that we have. And that's a new technology, a new edge of the field that's really out there and exciting to explore as well. Hey, I've got a question for you that I haven't asked you before. Where are the bulk of the students who come into CareerStep coming from? Are they mostly in the United States, or do you have an international appeal as well? Do you know that?
Well, most of them are within the continental United States, some in Alaska and Hawaii. And we have a lot of students that are immigrating or potential refugees here, which is great to see. But I would say most of them are within a community where CareerStep is offered through their local community college or university. And like I said, they're a non-traditional learner who's looking for a non-traditional path towards getting a more stable degree, a higher income.
So, Matthew, what are some of your most popular programs?
Great question. Well, we try to align our programs with our academic partners to meet the demand in the area. Overall, I would say medical coding and billing for outpatient services is definitely one of our most popular. Medical assistant, patient care technician, pharmacy technician, veterinary assistant, dental assistant. These are all fields that have great growth potential and a dire need for people. And I think they serve a certain type of individual as well.
Right. Now, with your popular programs, is there a correlation between the programs that are popular at CareerStep and the programs that see the highest conversion to jobs or careers, or are those two separate type of programs?
I don't know if they necessarily correlate. For example, some courses may have more hours and be more difficult than others. But I think that we have a pretty solid completion rate for learners that get into the program, especially with them knowing that they have so much support after completion.
Yeah. Hey, another field that we're seeing a lot of interest in, and I think CareerStep offers it, is mental health training, mental health skills training, psycho tech, and things like psych tech stuff. I believe you have a program along those lines. Are you seeing that beginning to grow on your end? I mean, that's what we're hearing here. People want more mental health training.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we rolled out mental health technician and also behavioral and psychiatric technician not too long ago, but they are consistently showing up in, the job recs of positions and professionals that are needed. So we have seen a surge in interest in those two areas as well.
Yeah.
So we're actually expanding in that department as well. So we should have some new programs as far as behavioral health and mental health.
So Matthew, we talked earlier, about the someone working online has to be a little self-motivated. Other than providing the classes, is there any support for someone who just looks for some guidance on, hey, I've never done an online course before. How do I do an online course?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's multiple resources that our learners have. Of course, when they first sign up, they're going to have onboarding where they're walked through the Canvas LMS and they can understand what their goals are when going through our programs. We have access to, professionals, subject matter experts, career advisors that they can reach out to. They can schedule one-on-one, hours with instructors. They also have access to 24/7 chat support and the online community with other learners who have already gone through the program or may have had similar questions that were already answered.
Excellent. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, very, very good. Super. And just a heads up, we're getting close to our 20 minutes here. So, but I want to give Matthew an opportunity to respond with, if somebody wanted to reach out and get more information about CareerStep, or if they wanted to reach out to you, is there a best way that they'd be able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, I'd recommend going to the landing page for Idaho State University and taking a look at the programs that are offered through our partnership. If you'd like to reach out to me directly with questions, you can do so via email. And that email is Matthew with 2 T's .Gibson, just like the guitar, @carislearn.com.
Very, very cool.
Great. Thank you.
You're not related to the guitar company, are you?
No, unfortunately not. I can't even play the guitar, but people don't tend to misspell it.
Oh, I thought we had another podcast opportunity there.
No, we want to bring Matthew back for the skateboarding thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, this has been cool. Very, very informative. You probably heard our timer going off. Thank you, Matthew, for joining us. As Paul told you, this flies and it goes by very quickly, but we hope people who are listening to this, will be interested enough to reach out and either come to our webpage, and Paul will tell you all more about that in a second, or come directly to you, Matthew, and say, hey, we heard a podcast, I got a question for you. I strongly encourage anyone who's interested in some online training, please investigate this. It's a wonderful opportunity. We've had great experience with CareerStep as one of our online partners. They do a lot of super work. The state is working on a separate thing. Idaho has been doing a separate thing with them on some alternate funding for anybody of our residents in Idaho through something called the Launch Program. So please look that up, or if not, call us, and Paul will give you that number, and we can help you get connected with those folks as well. So that can take care of some of the funding issues that is usually a concern. Matthew, you've been a terrific guest. Thank you for making the time to join us today. And we hope you show up over here later on when you come out this way. If not, we understand it's going to be a busy trip for you. But don't forget the chocolate.
I feel like either way, I just have to nail the chocolate to make everybody happy. But I'll definitely I'll make some arrangements. I'll be there as quickly as I can.
Okay. Now, if anyone wants to check out some of the career path offerings that we have, they can visit our website at cetrain.isu.edu. If you have any questions about the podcast or the courses that are available, you can email us at cetrain@isu.edu. And of course, as Gary said, you can always give us a call at 208-282-3372. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us. Gary, you're the man, as always. And Angie, I'll share that project in a couple minutes.
I'm so excited.
All right, everybody, you all be safe out there. Watch the skateboarding, Matthew. No injuries.
No more.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.